Namaste and welcome back to Joy's Luster. My name is Shweta. I work with Reiki Healing, Tarot, and I also study and research Vedic astrology and Vedic numerology. If you're interested in a paid personal reading, please connect me on my WhatsApp number. On 2nd of June, Jupiter entered Cancer, where it becomes exalted, and it will show its highest of potential, and it will remain here for almost a year. Whenever Jupiter changes signs, there is a shift in the collective energy. But this transit is especially important because Cancer is where Jupiter is considered to express its highest potential. But there is an interesting question that comes up here. If Cancer, as we all know, is ruled by Moon, and according to mythology, Moon had abducted Jupiter's wife Tara, leading to the birth of Mercury, then why does Jupiter chose Cancer to become exalted? Shouldn't there be a conflict instead? To understand this, we need to move beyond mythology and understand the symbolism behind these planets. What does Jupiter represent? Jupiter represents wisdom, faith, higher knowledge, ethics, guidance, meaning, and purpose. Moon represents our subconscious mind, emotions, nourishment, receptivity, intuition. Now think about it. Knowledge alone never creates wisdom. A person may know many things and still not be able to connect with others. What transforms knowledge into wisdom is emotional understanding. Cancer is the sign where intellect softens into compassion. It is when knowledge develops a heart. And this is why Jupiter becomes exalted here. Because Jupiter's wisdom finds emotional depth in Cancer. There's a very important line to remember. People do not heal through information alone. There are tons of information available on internet. You can surf and you can find out anything about healing from internet. But you will only heal if you understand, if you are compassionate, and if you nourish yourself well. That is the gift of Jupiter in Cancer. So what is this transit asking us to do? Many of us have spent spent so many years thinking of our problems intellectually. We analyze, we overthink, we try to understand everything logically. But Jupiter in Cancer is asking a different question. Instead of asking, what do I know? It is actually asking, how well do I nurture myself and others? This transit is inviting us to reconnect with our emotional world, strengthen family bonds, heal old emotional wounds, trust your intuition, create emotional security and be deeply rooted in your emotional security. Become emotionally mature, not emotionally dependent. Become emotionally secure. Now the most important part. Though Jupiter is going to remain in Cancer for almost a year, it will not express itself in the same manner throughout the journey. Why? Because it will move through 3 different nakshatras. What are they? Punarvasu, Pushya, Ashlesha. Let us look at each one of them. Each one of these represent a different stage of growth, almost like 3 different chapters in a spiritual journey. Punarvasu, which is ruled by Jupiter himself, means returning to the light or returning home. This nakshatra is associated with renewal, restoration, and second chances. Many people may find themselves during this time revisiting old dreams, old relationships, unfinished goals, forgotten spiritual practices. Life may bring opportunities to build something or rebuild something that was once lost. Not necessarily to repeat the past, but to approach it with greater wisdom. The question Punarvasu asks is, what is in your life which deserves a second chance? Perhaps it's a relationship with your own self, your health, your spiritual practice, your own confidence. This phase is about rebuilding foundations. After rebuilding comes nourishment. Pushya, which is ruled by Saturn, is considered as one of the most auspicious nakshatras. It is associated with growth, nourishment, discipline, maturity. Pushya teaches us that growth does not happen because of occasional inspiration. Growth happens because of consistent nourishment. Think about a plant. You cannot just water a plant once and expect it to flourish on its own. It requires regular care. Similarly, relationships need nourishment, health needs nourishment, spiritual growth needs nourishment. The question Pushya asks, what are you feeding every day? Is it your fears? Are you feeding your anxiety, your anger, or are you feeding your growth? Because whatever you nourish and whatever you feed will grow. Next is the Ashlesha Nakshatra, which is ruled by Mercury. This is perhaps the most misunderstood part of the journey. Ashlesha takes us into the deeper layers of the subconscious. It is associated with psychology, hidden motivations, attachments, emotional entanglements, transformation through awareness. If Punarvasu restores and Pushya nourishes, then Ashlesha reveals. It reveals where are we still attached? Where are we still controlling? Where are we still operating from fear, from anxiety? The question Ashlesha asks, what are you still unable to let go of? Sometimes it is not a person. Sometimes it is an old identity, an old belief, an old wound, a story we keep telling ourselves very conveniently. Ashlesha invites us to look beneath the surface, not to judge ourselves, but to understand ourselves at a deeper layer. If we look at these three nakshatras together, they tell us a very beautiful story. Punarvasu says, return to yourself. Pushya says, nourish yourself. Ashlesha says, transform yourself. This is not just Jupiter's journey through Cancer. This is our own journey as well. Many people want peace. They want spiritual growth. But they want to reach the destination without doing the inner work, which is not how growth happens. First, you have to return to yourself. Face the old part which is still pulling you into being your old self and not letting you let go of what is not good for you. Then we must nourish ourselves. Then we must confront our attachments and unconscious patterns. Only then does true wisdom emerge. Jupiter exalted in Cancer is not asking us to become more knowledgeable. Knowledge, we probably have lots of it. But it is asking us to become more emotionally wise. Because knowledge, of course, will fill your mind, but wisdom transforms your heart. As Jupiter moves through Cancer over the coming year, please do ask yourselves, what am I being called to rebuild? What am I being asked to nourish? And what am I truly and finally ready to let go of? Because perhaps that is where your growth lies. If you know your birth chart, please let me know which house is Cancer in your horoscope and how are you already experiencing this transit. If you enjoyed this video, do like, share and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you would like a personal consultation, you may connect with me through WhatsApp. Thank you so much for watching. Please do take care of yourselves. Love you and don't forget to shine.